Welcome, 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 welcome. I will just wait for others to join in and then we can pick up. Yes, hello. Our country is raining here today, so it's a bit cold and let's just name it. But we still have our country at heart, and this is what we are all about. So excuse me if you see me drinking something hot, it's because the weather is on today. Again, I'd like to say a massive welcome to the Abba Organic Farm Liberia Farmers Union program. We will be here tonight, very loaded. We are about to explode to different dimensions when it comes to agriculture, as well as our social activity. As you all know, Liberia is heading to one of the most critical timing, the time of decision making for the interest of all Liberians. So therefore, the Abba Organic Farm Liberia Farmers Union is a part of Liberia and must have her own road in securing peace and stability to all Liberians. So we want to say welcome your family, your friends, the entire nations. We encourage you all to join and follow the Abba Organic Farm Liberia Farmers Union. This is how we like to welcome you to tonight edition.
Fellow Liberians, as we all have entered this year 2023, we have to stand strong in building our country's economy. In doing this, we need to focus on agriculture by going back to the soil, which will help us grow our food, that will help us sustain ourselves. It is often said, and I quote, "There's only one thing that can bring our country down and also has the potential of giving our country its bright color. Our dependence on foreign countries for food and energy have led us to be spectators of our country's economy, knowing that agriculture is the backbone of our country's economy. Fellow citizens, I argue you all join the Abba Organic Farm Liberia Farmers Union every Saturday and Sunday from 7 to 8:30 p.m. on Africa 24 Online TV with their host, Ma Abba A. Anderson, the CEO and founder of Abba Organic Farm Liberia Farmers Union. For a live educative section under the topic, let's educate our farmers.
And this is how we start the program rolling tonight.
Welcome to Abba Organic Farm Liberia Farmers Union, with Abba Organic producing high quality food with low environmental impact. Organic farming will play an essential role in developing and maintaining a sustainable food system in Liberia. To achieve this target and to help the organic sector reach its full potential, Abba Organic Farm Liberia Farmers Union is putting forth an action plan for increased organic production in Liberia, including encouraging and supporting Liberians to go back to the soil and produce more food, negotiating and shifting local farm products for timely income benefits of farmers, working with farmers to grow more food, eat some, sustain their homes, and supply other parts of the world, training farmers to transition from manual to mechanized farming. In Aba Organic Farm, Liberia Farmers Union, our mission is to ensure a stable supply of affordable food to increase and safeguard the income of Liberian farmers to keep Liberia and its rural areas sustainably vibrant. You can become a member of Aba Organic Farm Liberia Farmers Union right now. Just dial 0880 547 543 or 0776 570 925 or 0886 199 or 0777 567777, or you can directly contact our CEO Abae Addison on +447 943 523387 and you join immediately. Aba Organic Farm Liberia Farmers Union, we are partners for good.
And so we are partner for good. This is how we like to commence tonight's edition. As we all know, Liberia is heading to one of its greatest time or season as we hit the political arena. And Liberia has already been faced with a lot of challenges. And we are going now to make some other decisions. I just urge all Liberians that is relied on to make decision for the country, to make a wise decision. As we are heading towards election, I've seen a lot of changes. And I'm seeing a lot of things that will be said, but it will only be because of its own season. You know, it is heartbreaking, but it is reality. Where people will think that what they see is actually what will happen in the long term, but it's just below that. What you see now is just for the season now. And I want us to get that very clear in us. Because as long as we do not have that pattern being set properly, we will have the same challenges repeated to us. We are faced with lots of challenges, but do not think that what you see today within a short period of time where we are all going to be running political talks and rhetorics and campaigns and giving all the nice things and saying all of the nice things, we still stand to where we are when it comes to reality. We still stay under the umbrella of poverty. I want us as Liberians to remember these things I'm about to say. I am not being paid, and I do not take any amount from somebody to come in to speak on their behalf or speak for them, in any other way. But all I'm about to say here is true and reality. And those truths can turn to be a life-changing truth or can be denied, but will have to be faith in the future to come. We are challenged with a lot of things that we do not think it is that serious for now. But it's definitely going to be very serious as long as there's nothing to be done about it. We are faced with a generation that is building like a mountain. But we have a little plans in place to accommodate those generation that is about to come or that is coming, that is there, that is built. And what happens is that you must make room for your situation in order to overcome it. That means, as Liberians, we must understand what Liberia is faced with now and what we are hoping to limit or minimize in the near future from now. I know you may have been watching me from different platforms. I like to say thank you. I see the numbers keep increasing. I want to say thank you for that increasing numbers that's watching me. Some of us will think that within these 2, 3 months of political activities, it's the end of Liberia's struggle. And some might even think that the political arena is, is, is the one that will be able to sort. Let me just relax my hair like this. Sorry. Some of us might even think that when we do those things, or when we see those things, or when we are seated within these areas, the problem of Liberia is sorted. I want us to just rethink. Why am I saying these things? It's that we are heading towards a decision making process where we should look at liberation over quick fix. I don't care who you want to go to, who you think is right, but you must be able to make a sound decision. And that decision rests on everything that we are hoping to do. You and I know in the midst of uncertainty, there will be no investment in Liberia. In the midst of uncertainty, there will be no investment. You do not want to accept it. You do not want to believe it. You do not think it is true. Continue. But I'm telling you, where there is uncertainty, the limitation holds to a higher degree. What people will be fighting for is just to save life, not to invest. Investment comes when community or society is at peace. And Liberia is not exceptional to what could happen or must happen or have happened. We all have gone through a lot more. But all I'm about to say to you here is that you do not drive the political talks or rhetorics or things that the political seasons is going to stay. And the problems of Liberia is going to finish. No. Our problem still remains that we are not developing. We are only developing in terms of rapid growth when it comes to human building. That means we are talking about population growth. Liberia has increased in population growth. But all other growth, there is a decrease. We are decreased in our food production, education. We are also decreased in our medical facilities. We are still decreased in our mindset, in our conscience. Our capability is decreasing gradually and every day because we are no longer relying on what we are capable of doing, but we are relying on what others have done. So I hope all of these factors will contribute to the decision that you're about to focus on. There is not one, no one is the only person that will suffer. We must also put into serious consideration of how we as Liberians are going to deal with the growing concerns over the health conditions, over the food production, over the mindset of educations, and over the developmental procedure. We must also look at our laws that will govern us after election. We must also focus on the building of our generation stability. We are talking about stability that will own community and will tackle those communities to changing for the betterment. I know some of us might be driven away within the political season, but this season is only for short term. It's going to complete. It's going to be over with. But we have the problem that we must look at. I don't know whether you want, you like me, you don't like me. Our problem in Liberia must have a day in court. That means a day to start to address the problem. Election will not solve the problem. All that you see is just for the matter of time. But what will solve our problem is to address and actually interact with the problem. You see, one thing I learned, or I'm learning from the British, if you or some of you have not followed the British news, which is the BBC news, we have the local news, we have the international news. The BBC news were able to tell us that UK is suffering from inflation. And in the midst of the inflation, there are growing concerns with family being, suffering from daily food or daily activities or daily responsibilities. So what the British have done was to put in place some level of system that can help family to walk through the infliction. And it is not all happening as a magic. It's not all going as easy. We have had from December, I would say from last November until today, we have had series of different protests and different. I mean, it was how many times we had to change government within a short time period. I'm saying all of this to relate to what we are to do with what is happening in Liberia. You may have a friend that is in leadership, you may have somebody that you don't like, but the fact still remains. Who are those leaders that you are looking at? Or who are those leaders that you think are looking out for the problem to be solved? My question to us all as we parade different things in our mind, let us not forget that we are still in the problem. We are only going to legalize this problem by voting, but the problem is still there. Look, after election, we will still have hospital bills to pay. After the election, most of us will still have no jobs to feed our family. We will still have our children not being in school. After this election, some of you may not believe me, but you will see that right after the election, the trouble will remain. So consciously, I am conscientizing you to know That what you see is just to stimulate the condition that is about to come. But as a Liberian, productive mindset, conscious of what you think, focused of what you think, I will urge you to get prepared for time ahead. In times like this, it is not time to fold your hands and expect that everything is just going to happen. No. If that's your mindset, I want you to revisit it and start to put things in place. That is why we are telling you as a Liberian that it is wrong for us in this DNA to be producing food in different country with our own expense. Some of the farms that you see in TVs, on the Facebook, on the YouTube channels and other channels have been fed from you. Your taxes that you have been paying have contributed to the farms in India, in Pakistan, in the rest of the different countries. While you sit back and remain hungry. While you sit back and think politics will solve our problem. I want us all to consciously put things in order. It is good to have political times, but it is even better to plan for the future of liberation. My idea may not be the best, may not be the perfect, but I want us to know that our condition will never change unless we change our mindset, or unless we approach the condition as real as it is. Let us tackle this condition. Today, many of you, your family, are under the name of rest in peace. Many of us, our friends, are being resting in the arms of rest in peace. And I'm not saying that they're not supposed to go. But what I'm saying, there are some other negligence that have caused more death than the real death. Many of us have had so much negligence that have led to many of our family, including my very self. I lost a mother, the woman that brought me on this earth. True negligence. I lost her because there was nobody that could see what was happening or could detect what was happening until it happened. And why are we here? It is because we did not see what is important as important. But I want us now that we all have paid through our tears, through our struggles, through our griefs, through our frustration, through our lack of jobs, through our engagement. We have all paid the price of what we should have stopped in the beginning. Today, your daughter will not have left your home to go and stay in a graveyard if something was to be done. Today, your friend wouldn't have lost her life if something would have been done. It's not that people will not leave. Everywhere there is something, but we can also help to minimize it to the lowest. Let us not always sit down and think we are going somewhere when we are doing nothing. You will never move until you get up to move. Sitting and expecting change will never happen. That's why the promises or change that was told to you did not work as you thought it would work. Because we are seated, our hands are folded, expecting there is going to be a manna dropping from heaven. I want us to approach our condition as real as it is. I want us to gravitate towards how to address the conditions. I want us to put things in place for the future. Today, there's no army wrong in Bon County at the moment. But what may happen in the next 4 months from now, 1 year from now, is that anything in place? Okay, now the prices of rice have started to increase on the Liberian market. What are we doing now? Is there anything in place? Are we having any plan for the next 10 years from now? What are the things that we have in place that will help us leave this zone of poverty? If we do not have anything in place, if you have not consciously planned anything to do for your liberation, I urge you now to get involved. Look, Liberia will not remain as it is when men and women stand up for reality. Look, the Liberia you see today, it is because we willingly accepted what we are into today. But if we get up and decide to approach the situation in a different perspective, we will have a different outcome. The outcome we need of Liberia, it is not only to go and vote as a Liberian. That's not only the outcome we need. As you all know, the more we sit and fold our hands, is the more the conditions of Liberia remains. And I'm urging you today. Some of you might be older, some of you might be younger, some of you might be wherever you find yourself. And I want us to know that reality is what matters. Times and seasons comes and go, but reality stays with us. What is our plan when we remain in poverty? Will we continue to ask somebody to sell us something to buy squash cards? Will we continue to fold our hands for jetty brothers to cook food and give our young people, our young generation, they who the strangers, to feed us? Is that what we have in mind for the country as whole, as Liberia? Do we have anything in plans for those that have been handed over in the pool of drugs? Do we have something in place for those farmers that have been trying their best, but nothing have come out of them? My conscience does not set me free. That's why I will sit here and be speaking about these things. Some may not even like to hear that. Some may not think it is necessary. Some may not think it affects them in any way. Some may not even think that it is important. But I want you to know the importance of what you do now has a tendency of paying back when you have no strength. The reason why we will go to other countries, we will work and pay taxes, and we will not want to leave to go back to Liberia and live in Liberia as anywhere else. It is because there is no system in place that will allow us to benefit from our labor. We need to now work out what we have been doing wrong and how we can address that wrong. There is no right, no wrong without you knowing what to do. we might figure out that Liberia is going nowhere in the absence of addressing the reality. The nation today, I see politicians are all over the place. Everybody turning politics. The amount of strength that we put into politics, if we were putting those strengths into development, would have been far better. The jobs that you have been expecting, you would have gotten it. Because why? You would have earned qualifications. You would have earned a mindset that allows you to graduate from poverty. But today, our nation is still perishing. Perishing to only thinking that the only way out is to once remain in government or be a part of a government before you can be able to analyze or to become a full member of society or recognize society. But I don't see the Jetty family or the Lebanese family or the ancient family that have lived in Liberia for years running for power. But I see Liberians running for power. All I see in those eyes of those that are building stores along the highways are people who have tested the economy and tested the mindset of Liberia and know all they focus on is politics. So what we can do is to give them what they need. They will come back buying from us. That is why you will live in Liberia, but your brothers and sisters will have to stand online for Jeti and other Asian nationals to give them a plate of food. And proud. And that's no disrespect to Jeti family. I deeply appreciate them. But all I'm saying in a nutshell, this shouldn't be happening in a nation as old as Liberia. We should be the one giving now to different countries, supplying different nations. We cannot send people to different countries, all because we have limited the amount of people that we give opportunity to learn skills, to learn jobs that will benefit us as a nation. And today, we all are flying into politics, leaving behind all other sectors. You cannot see people boasting of no more of food production or opening different industries. The only boast is who to vote for. My brothers and sisters, it is with blind mindset. And we would think Liberia problem is going to end within the 2 months period from now, or 3 months period from now, or a 6 month period from now. I want us to bury our mind into reality. I want us to search nations that have become successful and read about them, how they were able to become a successful leader. Nations today. What do they do that we are not doing? Maybe that will help us. Maybe that will help us. Other countries right now are smartly investing in our youth when it comes to education. You see young people becoming engineers, young people investing into technologies, young people, creating devices that is beneficial for the world. Why we are producing young people that are turning into drugs. We are producing young people that are focused from one party headquarters to another party headquarters. We are producing a society that is about to hunt us all if there's nothing to be done. Because as the mile is growing, we must be able to feed them. That is why you will build your house, you will have to buy iron gates. In the midst of your iron gate, you have to buy iron door. In the midst of your iron door, you still have to buy iron seating. Very soon, we will start building iron seating in our houses. And still, we will not sleep in peace because we are not building a society that provides peace for us. Why can we turn most of this strength into development? Why can we send people to learn in different countries and come back and be a help to us? Why must we continue to remain at the same point and think the only thing that can help us is new vote every year? If you calculate how much we spend for election every time, if we were just using that same money to invest within the 5 year period, I think we will have more than what we spend. Election is very good, and I love to have election. But all I'm saying in nutshell is that there are many things that is affecting us that we need also to equip that in the election handbook. If we have been going through a lot, let us equip that into the election handbook as we make our name and make history for our nation. I want to see a Liberia that will wake up with a mindset of helping the nation, especially our leaderships that is all over in the various community for now. The next 2 to 3 months, you will see every little quarter will be visited by politicians. And you will not see them until the 5 years is over. It is good to be visited by them. But ask them these questions. What is your plan after election you will do for us? Or we will be able to do together? Because they are not the only person that should develop Liberia. But let all of us do it together. The Abba Organic Farm is here to remind you and remind all of you that we are on the table to waiting because we are focused on election now. So we want to give room to people to be elected. All the leaderships, we want to give you all room to be elected by the people. But you must not just be elected by the people and forget about it. You must be elected by the people and remain for the people. We are tired. Matter of fact, there have been more frustration than elevation. And so we are tired. We are tired. We are politicians. We invite you to help the nation adapt new ideas, bring about change, development, provide job opportunity, elevate us. That's what we want. We are tired of us tying coal for us to eat, breaking woods for us to eat. Maserado is not Liberia. Liberia is bigger than Maserado. Let us all visit those favorite towns and villages. Let the people that matters be put ahead of us as we head towards election. I know many of you think that all we see, it is all right. It is not all right. And the fear here is that just very little of the population realizes that a lot is needed to be done. In the eyes of a lot of people, it's only to sit in power. So that is why they do not care about you. But you need to be care about yourself. And that's why the doors of the Abba Organic Farm is open. It's not open because of political reasons. It's not open because of political franchise, connections. It is open for total freedom from your mindset. We are coming to help the nation produce food and stability. Help your nation to learn how to develop herself through the means of food production. I want us all to realize that this country we call Liberia will not be free by any other person, but by us as Liberians. That is why I will not get tired. I will not give up. I will not even look back because I know it takes time for the truth to be revealed. But when it's revealed, it stays forever. Some of this clip will be used for tomorrow. Some of this clip will be remembered for tomorrow. I want you all to know that in the absence of food production, we will remain in actual poverty. We cannot live poverty free without production. That is why we request help for every family, every friend, and partner of Liberia to rise up towards poverty and free the nation from falling. I want you all to know that the life that we are living in Liberia today is meant for many Liberians to understand the impact and the significance of what is happening. Many of us, we cannot even afford. Oh, how sad it is that your children have no more than to stand before your neighbor to have something to eat. A plea to us as a generation to stand for liberation. And let us all use this time right now. Let us use this time right now as we focused on the change that we want. As we head towards our election period, let us not look at election as the end of Liberia's problem, but let us look at election as a place of strategic thinking that will allow us to develop over politics, to develop over partisan. We have let Liberia down so long and so much. And all we can do right now is to pick up and invest in ourselves. We must invest in ourselves. We must deliver the country from this poverty that we have engulfed around us. We are tired. We are tired of being at the same place and bleeding in our hearts with no change expected. So, you politicians, that are roaming around looking for votes in every corner, in every community. I want you to know Liberians are tired. And we are only tired because we have no hope. We see little from your hands. As you are begging us again to entrust you with leadership, we want to see the difference in change. It is so hard that we will always be at the same point, spending all of our mineral resources on elections and getting little results out of it. Many Liberians, outside of Liberia, wants to come home. Many of us didn't get the quality of education in Liberia, but many people were opportune to visit different countries, and they have had lots of experiences that can be able to help us deliver this country. Let us give room to our people. Let us open doors to reality, and let us face our society out of the hands of poverty. My people, I'm pleading on behalf of the entire organic farm. Let your decision be right this time. Let your decision be focused this time. Let us not all bow down into this poverty. Let us focus. Let us build the armor of strength and encourage total freedom. I like to stop here and say this to you.
Fellow Liberians, as we all have entered this year 2023, we have to stand strong in building our country's economy. In doing this, we need to focus on agriculture by going back to the soil, which will help us grow our food, that will help us sustain ourselves. It is often said, and I quote, "There's only one thing that can bring our country down and also has the potential of giving our country its bright color. Our dependence on foreign countries for food and energy have led us to be spectators of our country's economy, knowing that agriculture is the backbone of our country's economy. Fellow citizens, I argue you all join the ABBA Organic Farm Liberia Farmers Union every Saturday and Sunday from 7 to 8:30 p.m. on Africa 24 Online TV with their host, Ma Abba A. Anderson, the CEO and founder of ABBA Organic Farm Liberia Farmers Union. For our live educative section under the topic, Let's Educate Our Farmers.
Thank you for that short break. So again, I'm back to just encourage us all. I know some people might think this is a joke, but reality is reality. As you see, our name has been placed in a realm of one of the least countries when it comes to food production. And it baffles me a whole lot, knowing the fact that we have an increase in the population. That tells you there is going to be more demands. If we do not look at that as an issue, then we are heading nowhere. And not only that we are looking at food, but we are also looking at medical facilities where the entire country, you go into hospitals, you are left with nothing but to come outside and being directed to getting um sorry, I just got a call coming in and distracted me a little bit. But yeah, whatever it is, we are here. Getting your treatment from a outside pharmacy. And not only that, it's a pharmacy, there's no jobs regulation where anybody can just march in Liberia and bring in anything. And who takes the blame? The rest in peace. Because lots of people are being lost in their lives when nobody has any explanation to why people are dying massively in Liberia. We have poverty as one of the factors, but then besides poverty, we have food poisoning that leading to so much heart failure, kidney disease, and just name it, heart pressure, and name it. Because there is no control system. We are not producer of our own food. How can we control what comes in? And if nothing is coming in for us to regulate, it tells you how much, at what degree our failures lies. Imagine you opening your door to just the entire world where everybody can just bring in anything. Go on the Liberian market today. Do your own research. You will see how much products that are really from Liberia compared to how much products that are imported to Liberia. It tells you why the economy will not be higher, but it will go lower. Because what happens is that those importers are not importing because they love you. They are importing because they are doing business. And business is relating once is linked to profit. That's business. Once it's not a profit, then that humanitarian. You do not make business to lose. And how much more business are they going to make out of us? They make business that we cannot even afford to pay our children's school fees. Because right now, people that are working with government, they are having a cut in their salary. But what happens? The schools are now increasing their fees. So it tells you that you are not exempted for what is happening around you. You contribute and you must also take your part. If we are losing a huge generation that will not be going to school, we are losing a huge generation that has no skills. We are still losing a huge generation that has no medical intention to be able to even go to hospital because they don't even have. How can they visit the hospital? There is no way election is going to solve Liberia problem. And I'm not saying election is wrong, but all I'm saying is that there must be a clear picture. So those that we are electing this time around, those that we leave in power or will take out of power must understand that we have gone through a lot. We have serious mental conditions in our country. Imagine the whole month you are not even sure of what you're going to earn for a whole month. You are having family, you live in a house, you have maybe you have to rent a house, and you have a whole family. You do not even have an earning that you think you can be able to cope with. That leads to serious mental breakdowns. And not only that, you are looking at earnings, you are also worried about how much you can afford to even eat besides your income being stable. We are talking about even your food. You can no longer afford to have an affordable meal with the little that you can even try to have. You are on a job. You still have rent to pay. You are on a job. You have 5 children to send to school. Your wife cannot even make money from, maybe you even want her to sell. There's nothing she can earn from it. You understand what these things means. This has nothing to do with politics. These are daily things that are happening within the society. And it must not be looked at as nothing. These are things that affect us, and it's affecting the entire nation today. Our plan is to go and break down some of these barriers through making food affordable to all Liberians. The dream of the Abba Organic Farm is not to have money in the account and ride big jeeps. That's not the aim. The aim is to build a society that will have affordable food, and not just affordable food at the expense of death, but affordable food at the increase of your human building capacity, which means those nutrients that you deserve in the entire body, all those things that you deserve, all these vitamins, like the fruits that you're supposed to consume. You cannot afford to buy those fruits any longer. We want you to be able to have those fruits inside of you at affordable prices at any point in time. You can wake up 5 o'clock in the morning, let there be rice, let there be chicken, let there be meat, let there be vegetables and fruits that you would deserve. We are talking about building a society that equip us to have the necessary things that we need. You do not have to wait for them to make soup in the US and send to you in Liberia, whereas you have all it takes to have the Irish cream that you pay for from America to you there. You can make a soup right here in Liberia. We have all the ingredients that we need, but yet we are importing at a high cost. These things must stop, and it will stop this year with God being above. We will start with the letter we can start with. We will start. Those of you that have been in the diaspora or even in Liberia and have been wishing to be a part of an organization that has room for everyone to be included, despite your political view or your backgrounds, we will give you the opportunity. Come and join. Liberation is not for one person, it is for us all. We must start. Even if it is for 5 fingers, we will start. We will start. We have enough now. We have struggled. We struggled from the 90s. We went through war. We went through a lot of, I don't even know how much to describe, how much bloodshed that we had. We went through it. And today, we are still under the bondage of actual poverty. How much more will we pay if we do not rise up and stop this from happening. This can be some other income. This can be some other employment. This can be somebody vision. You can vision to do so, and you will have people to use it. You can vision to fix slippers. Somebody will consume it. You can vision. Look, I want us to start having the vision of a 2024 vision. I know Vision 2024 is coming. You must just be a part. We don't have it all, but we will start with what we have. And what we have is so valuable to us. And so we will not let it go. This time around, Liberians will start to do things that will develop their country. Because we will not relent. We cannot have young people living in the country and everything that these people need must come from other countries. And we said this is our country of peace. How can it be peaceful? How many people have employment? How can that be translated into peace? When you work, all that you earn goes right back to just buying you food because the cost of living has gone rocket high. What kind of society are we building? And we all here passing around within this 2 months and 3 months period, giving big speech with nothing to show for. We cannot even buy a machine that a community can survive from. Our people are still drinking from creeks and rivers, and we have nothing to do with it. We can't even afford to give chlorine for a child or a born child to be born viral free. Many of our young children are infected, but we have no clue. Why? Because there is no medical intervention. Why? I keep linking medical side to it because you cannot live with this without these two things. You have to have food and you have to have good health. If you don't have these two, you have no life. And that is what they are taking from us in Liberia. It's not only that we are being robbed financially, but we are being robbed from our health. We are being robbed from our food. What more do we have to live for? If we cannot have food, we cannot have money, we cannot even have a job to live. So how we can live? My plea to you all today, it is not to run to become a senator that is going to solve our problem. My plea to you all is for us to rise up and see reality and focus on delivering the country. And you keep putting me in your prayers, because I will not rest with God being on our side until we can see these things happen. It is not easy to rise from small and see nothing change from the 90s. We are still struggling. Just imagine how many years of struggle. Others have never had the opportunity to leave Liberia. So imagine from the 90s what they have been going through till today. And there's still no future promising ahead because there's nothing that we see that will tell us that we are only suffering within the 2 months. Next month, our suffering should be ending. Nothing like that. All we see, it is just vote for me and come here, let us have a party. How can that change your situation? Liberians, I encourage you all and inspire you to get behind the reality. The reality here is it's a free organization. You do not need to pay a penny. All I want you to do is to have a mindset that allows you to know who you are and how best you can be able to redefine your ability to become an independent person, a successful businessman and women, a productive Liberian. That's where I want us to go. As for the market, we will find the market. Let us start the production. We will find the market. The world is hungry. The world needs food. If we can grow food, we will have the world to earn and buy our food. We will produce new strategies that will help our food to live long. Meaning we will be able to save for rainy time. But we will not continue to beg and become beggars. Our children comes and meet us begging and join us in begging. It is enough now. It is enough. I don't know about you, but I feel the best thing that we can do is to start with 3 or 1 or 2, whatever we have. Let us start with this. And I know you all that have been watching me, that have been supporting me through your prayers, through your financial or sharing of this program. Our voices have been heard. Many of the people are starting to read our messages and send us texts in response. But we have to grow beyond this. We have to meet reality, meaning we have to start facing what we want to do. And the time is no longer far. We are looking at this year end, which is around the December season, to start our boots on the ground. And those boots represent liberation. Those boots represent a nation that is ready for change. And I want you all to be a part, to stand with me in every way you can stand with me. Just share the video and become a part. Because your contribution matters. It may not be as big as the ocean, but a little drop in the ocean can make a huge difference. So I appreciate you. I appreciate all of your efforts. I see you all watching me from every area and on all the different platforms. I want to say thank you for supporting this organization, supporting us, and we will achieve together. With God being above, we will achieve. So I say thank you again and have a pleasant good night. My last word to leave is for us to stand up now. We had it enough. We can do this together. We can change. We can liberate. And we can be beneficial of our nation resources. We can use what we have and we can develop on what we have. And we can build a nation that we love to live in. So I like to say God bless you and thank you for watching. And God sees this day. I like to say thank you for watching us. And please help us to share. And I will also say thank you. Thank you to our sister Cecilia. We say thank you. Chioma, I say thank you. Mr. Collins, thank you. No, Edwards, rather. Mr. Edwards, I say thank you. Mr. Flomo, I also say thank you for watching, and others on the different platforms. I know we are on different platforms, so it's quite difficult to get all of the names before we can stop. But I would like to say thank you for being a part. If you have just joined us for the first time, we want to say thank you. This is the Abba Organic Farm, Liberia Farmers Union. We are here every Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Liberia time, and Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Liberia time. So tomorrow we will be here again, bringing you live coverage of the Abba Organic Farm, Liberia Farmers Union program. Tonight, we like to say God bless you and have a pleasant weekend.
Fellow Liberians, as we all have entered this year 2023, we have to stand strong in building our country's economy. In doing this, we need to focus on agriculture, by going back to the soil, which will help us grow our food, that will help us sustain ourselves. It is often said, and I quote, there's only one thing that can bring our country down and also has the potential of giving our country its bright color. Our dependence on foreign countries for food and energy have led us to be spectators of our country's economy, knowing that agriculture is the backbone of our country's economy. Fellow citizens, I argue you all join the Aba Organic Farm Liberia Farmers Union every Saturday and Sunday from 7 to 8:30 p.m. on Africa 24 Online TV with their host, Ma Abba A. Anderson, the CEO and founder of Abba Organic Farm Liberia Farmers Union. For our live educative section under the topic, let's educate our farmers.
So we say thank you for watching and join us tomorrow, 7:30 Liberia's time. And so we say thank you, thank you, thank you, and good night. Your host has been Madam Abba A. Anderson. Good night for now. Bye bye.